Ladies and gents, boys and girls, Tuesday, January the 10th, 2023. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here, the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show. The juice is loose. We got a lot to talk about here on this Tuesday. We're taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I see Xavier, Bruin Nation, Justin Langford, Cody Gaskins, Gene Lott, Hunter, Stephen Bordwell Jr., Wesley Bowles, Todd Smith, Jonathan Lee, Gavin, James Ryan. What's going on? Jay Smith, appreciate you all tuning in. Also, those in the Big Cock Club Discord. Head over to the TDC Questions channel, to be sure your questions are answered there. Also, if you're not in the Big Cock Club, join today. Patreon.com/Big Cock Club. We watched the national championship in the BCC hangout last night. Had a really, really good time chopping it up, talking ball, hanging out, of course. You guys know the drill, but a really, really good time. Join today, patreon.com/Big Cock Club. Stephanie Lee, I see you. Cocky Twan, what's up, man? I appreciate you tuning in. Matt Johnson, Travis Allen, what's up? What's up? Appreciate y'all. Of course, guys, as always, TDC brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Go download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com. Even though college football is behind us, right? There is still tons of money to be made with our friends at Prize Picks, right? College basketball, baseball will be here before you know it. MLB, of course, NBA going on right now. You can play anything and everything. College sports, pro sports, anything in between. Again, use that promo code TSUS at sign up. You're going to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, so many fans and listeners of the Spurs Up Show and of the Daily Crow have made tons of money with our friends at Prize Picks, and you should as well. Again, go download the app or go to prizepicks.com. When you do, use the promo code TSUS to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. One thing really quick before we really get going, I want to shout out my girl Jocelyn. Of course, we collabed with Jocelyn for the Tennessee and Clem Sucks victory t-shirts. This shirt I'm actually rocking here is one from her line. This was not a collaboration. This is the Soulja Boy Tell 'em Shane Beamer. It's like Shane Beamer's outline there. The turn your swag on, whatever. Also, though, I want to shout out Jocelyn because you guys see me every day on this show, right? Drinking coffee, drinking water, what have you. I want to shout out Jocelyn because she made me a custom Yeti cup. You will be seeing this every day. Now, look at this thing. Let me make sure I got it pulled up. Look at this thing. I mean, this is fire. The matte black, right? We got the logo on one side. And what do we have on the other side? Yours truly. So I want to say thank you to Jocelyn. This is an incredible gift. A bit of a belated Christmas birthday gift, I think. So cheers to you, Jocelyn. Thank you so much. We're going to let the coffee cool off a little bit. But really, really cool stuff. And got that last night. And really, really am appreciative. And appreciate you guys, by the way, supporting and showing love to the TSUS Made by Jocelyn collab. I do apologize if the orders took a little bit longer than everybody expected. Our first go around working together. And so there's some things, some kinks that we will have worked out for our next collaboration for sure. But truly a blessing. And I just wanted to say thank you to Jocelyn for that. Anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. Again, really excited to chat with each and every single one of you. The big news yesterday, late last night, of course, Juice Wells has officially announced his return to South Carolina this fall is huge. We now await the other domino to fall, which is a massive domino in quarterback Spencer Rattler. And I'll tell you guys this. I mean, you have to imagine that Spencer Rattler is indeed going to come back. I think it's a matter of when, not if. Juice Wells said so many times that it depended on, I got to see what my quarterback does. What's my quarterback going to do? That's going to sway my decision. I would be really, really surprised if Juice Wells is coming back and Spencer Rattler is not. It's not a guarantee, obviously, but I would be really, really surprised if we did not get a decision from Spencer Rattler here in the next day or so. And our good friend Mike Gillespie of ABC Columbia also confirming that. He tweeted this morning, if I can find it. Let me read you exactly what his tweet said. Mike Gillespie said, multiple sources tell me this morning Gamecocks quarterback Spencer Rattler could be announcing his decision today. He and USC officials met late into the night to discuss his future, whether to return to USC or turn pro. Elizabeth Ballard in the Big Cock Club Discord first says, a fire shirt would be a juice cup overflowing after that Juice Wells return video. I'm fired up. Elizabeth, the merch, I love it. The merch ideas are flowing. I do appreciate that. Yeah, we might do something. I'm gonna try to work with Juice Wells specifically and see if he wants to collab on something. Elizabeth also says, how can Rattler not want to come back? We have unfinished business. I think there's more to prove. And I would say, Elizabeth, almost more importantly, is that, for Spencer Rattler, I think you look at where he's projected to be drafted. You look at what he can come back and accomplish and do at South Carolina. And, I understand that we're going to have a bit of a retooled offensive line. There's going to be some new faces and new pieces, but I don't see, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't see how he could have a worse year. I really don't see how he could come back and have a worse year. Like, let's call it for what it is, right? Like the last couple of games, right? Those last two games were legendary, right? The Tennessee and Clem Sucks games will forever live as legendary performances. But I mean, the first 10 games, he was bad. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Whether you want to blame him, you want to blame Satterfield, whatever. But the statistics, I should say, the statistics were bad, right? They were bad. I mean, he threw more touchdowns in that game against Tennessee than he threw, I think, in the entire month of October. So his stats were not very good. So I think you think of yourself, if you're projected a day 3 guy, if you're going to be a 5th or 6th rounder, I think you got to think to yourself, I mean, I'm going to come back. I'm going to have a better year. Like there's just no question you're going to have a better year. You're going to have a better year. So we'll see what happens. We're all awaiting the decision. It's a huge decision. It's a decision that, greatly impacts the outlook of the 2023 season. And one of the two pieces, of course, has fallen with Juice Wells announcing his decision to return. And with that decision coming through, I just, guys, I'd be really surprised if Spencer Rattler did not follow right behind him. I'd be really, really surprised if that were not the case. Again, 843-790-3377, guys. That's 843-790-3377. We can discuss whatever you like, guys. That's the beauty of the Daily Crow, right? We can talk about literally whatever you guys want to talk about. I know my good friend Luke RJ, we were having conversation about some of the topic of conversations of yesterday's show with some things with drama, what have you. And guys, I love talking Gamecocks. I love talking ball, right? That's why I ever started doing this. But whatever you guys want to discuss, the beauties of the banter, right? I mean, you all know the Daily Crow, it can go very on script's the wrong way to put it, but it can be very expect the unexpected when it comes to the Daily Crow, right? Whether it be social media stuff, whether it be Dale calling in, Rebecca I mean, you just never know which direction the show's going to go. That's one of the things that makes this so beautiful, right? That makes it what it is. So again, would love to hear from you all. Really, really excited to see Juice Wells is returning. And there's a lot of way too early top 25 polls that are dropping. Our good friend Michael Bratton already dropped his first power rankings for the 2023 season. He's got the Gamecocks 5th, by the way. Got the Gamecocks 5th, which is awesome. Also, by the way, guys, how about this? It's game day for South Carolina men's basketball. The Gamecocks taking on the Kentucky Wildcats at Rupp Arena. South Carolina is a 19.5-point underdog. So that game tonight, 7 o'clock tip-off on ESPN2. Is anyone excited for the game? I've thrown up a final score. I actually picked a 78-63 loss. I'm trying to speak that into existence, a little bit more of a favorable outcome. And you might say, Chris, how's that favorable? Well, when you're a 19.5-point underdog, that's actually pretty favorable. So anyways, we'll see what happens. Excited to watch that one. Also, excited to get down to Hilton Head, guys. Later today, I will be heading down to the coast, down to the low country, going to the island. Cannot wait to get to Hilton Head, one of my favorite places on planet Earth. We've got our event tomorrow night, of course, with our good friends at Carolina Cigar. 7 o'clock is when it gets going. Hope to see you out there. But we'll be hanging around the Cigar Lounge practically all day. Of course, we're rocking TDC out of there, noon to 2. We've also got an appearance at 11:30 with Inside the Gamecocks. I'll do that from the Cigar Lounge as well. We got a packed day tomorrow, by the way. We got a packed day, right? We got Inside the Gamecocks at 11:30. We've got our show noon to 2 with 2 guests. Mark Ryan will join us at 12:45, and then JC Sherbert will join us at 1:15. No Daily Crow, of course, on Thursday, but the podcast will drop. What I'm hoping, ideally what's going to happen is Spencer Rattler is going to announce today that he is returning. And so then Thursday's show will be our way too early predictions for the 2023 football season, because then we will know that those 2 pieces are back. That is the only reason I have not dropped that yet, because I refuse to drop predictions until I know what those guys are doing. So hopefully that's the case. And it's a big week, though. Big week. Really excited. Again, really excited to get down to Hilton Head. You know, it's crazy. I was just thinking this morning as I was getting ready for the show, just how incredibly blessed we are. You know what I mean? Just how we're truly living the dream. You know, we're heading down to Hilton Head to do an event and smoke cigars and talk Gamecocks. I mean, really, what do we have to complain about? So, and it's all because of you guys, your love, your support. I can't say thank you enough. I truly, genuinely do appreciate everybody who tunes into the show on a day in, day out basis. I mean, you guys tune in every single day, and it's incredible. It's truly a blessing. And I remember back in the beginning when I remember hitting 100 downloads on a podcast and how thrilled I was and excited I was. And here we are 6 years later, basically. And we've got 100 people. We've got 100 people tuning in, you know, and it's not even football season anymore, because obviously the numbers were more than that. But we've got 100 people tuning in live, not just tuning in live on the daily. I mean, that's truly a blessing. It's amazing. It's incredible. And again, I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you. And again, the people that support, from the Big Cock Club to the merchandise to the podcast to the Daily Crow to social media to whatever way you support, man. I can't say thank you enough. So also, what a national championship last night, eh? Georgia I think we all expected Georgia to win, but whew, my goodness, that was a beatdown of epic proportions, man. That was a beatdown of epic proportions. I mean, heck, I think we fared better against Georgia than TCU did. So I just, you know, it's Georgia's elite. Kirby's built a monster. I mean, you really got to, you know, it's crazy. I hate Georgia. Don't get me wrong, but it's weird. Like, I hate Clemson and I have no respect for them, right? I hate Clem sucks, have no respect for them. I hate Georgia, but I respect Georgia. Like, I respect Kirby. I respect what he's built. I mean, they've just built a monster. Like, you have no choice but to tip your cap. I mean, you really don't, man. They're elite. They're elite. They're absolutely elite. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So, yeah. Anyways, Brian Dean says, never liked Stetson Bennett, with the dude finished 30-3 as a starter. Yeah, I mean, I tell you this, Stetson Bennett, I don't think Stetson Bennett gets enough credit. I really don't. I think that, and I'm not saying I'm not saying he's the best quarterback in college football, but you know, you really got to put respect on a guy. I understand he's surrounded by crazy talent, but you got to put respect on a guy that has engineered Georgia to what they've done. I mean, you just have to. I mean, it just comes off as sour grapes, right? When you're trying to downplay everything about Stetson. I mean, like, dude, like, he may not be the best quarterback in college football, but he's the best quarterback at doing what Georgia wants him to do. You know, so I'm sure the guy's going to get a statue outside of Sanford Stadium. An absolutely incredible player. And I mean, they just, I mean, what can you say, man? They just took it to TCU didn't belong. TCU didn't belong. Chad Goblin says, did you move down here to Hilton Head? No, Chad, I'll just be hitting the road. No, I'll just be hitting the road, leaving. I actually live in Greenville, South Carolina, for those of you that did not know. I am in the upstate currently. You never know. Hilton Head could be in the works. It's funny. When I was a kid, we used to go there on vacation, like, all the time. We'd go a couple times a year. And, you know, obviously as a kid, right, you have different types of thoughts and stuff like that. But I used to say to myself, I'd love to live down there. Like, I love the coast. I'm a beach guy. I love the mountains. I love the beach. But, I mean, I really love the beach, man. It's incredible. Just the beach vibes are awesome. And so, no, I don't live in Hilton Head, but I would like to make the Carolina Cigars appearance. I'd like to make that a monthly thing if at all possible. I really would. I just enjoy myself going down there. I have the means to do so. I think it's a great opportunity to go hang out with those guys and hang out with Gamecocks in the Low Country. I know everybody doesn't like cigars, but we had a few folks come out last time, and it was, and I think those events, what's cool about Carolina Cigars, like would they welcome if 100 people showed up and bought cigars? I think they absolutely would. But what's really cool about those events is like I think it's meant to be more of like a smaller, intimate type setting where we're just hanging out, sitting around, again, talking Gamecocks, shooting the shit, having a good time, a relaxing type of event, right? We have a lot of different things, watch parties, and even the tour stuff we do where it's high energy, it's intensity. I mean, I'm a high energy intensity guy, but it's also nice to just kind of sit back, kick your feet up, relax, and enjoy each other's company. So that's what we'll do tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Again, I'm also excited to do TDC from the Cigar Lounge and smoke a stogie while doing it. It's a good time. It's a very, very good time down there. So, but no, I do not live in Hilton Head, but I got an Airbnb. We'll be staying down there until Thursday night. Thursday, we're going to play golf with the Carolina Cigars boys. Cannot wait for that. Going to be a good time, and I really do appreciate those guys for bringing me out. And it'll actually be, believe it or not, guys, it'll be the first time I've ever played beach golf. First time ever. I've as much golf as I've played in my life, I've never played golf on the coast. So I've played golf in the mountains. Played golf in the mountains a lot with my grandfather up at Beach Mountain. Absolutely incredible. And Beach Mountain is a mountain, for those of you who are wondering. I had somebody try to debate me that Beach Mountain's a hill. You got to go to the West Coast and look at the mountain. Beach Mountain's a mountain. It wouldn't be called Beach Mountain if it wasn't a mountain. I just want to get that out there. But anyways, I've played golf in the mountains, have not played golf on the coast. So anyways, looking forward to it. Going to be a good time, and we'll get down there tonight. And I love the vibes down there, man. Love the vibes down there. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. Would love to hear from you all. Checking in, see what's going on. Let's see. Tommy says, do you see the comment Pollock made about Georgia owning college football now? Saban looked at him like he wanted to backhand him off the stage. Well, Tommy, is he wrong? I mean, Georgia has taken over. Georgia is what Bama was. I mean, would you disagree? Would you disagree? I mean, I don't know how you can, I don't know how you can deny that. Landon White, yes, we will have TDC tomorrow. No TDC on Thursday. No TDC on Thursday because we'll be playing golf Thursday. But tomorrow, we'll be doing the Daily Crow live from Carolina Cigars, actually. We'll do TDC live from the Cigar Lounge. So looking forward to that. Going to be a really good time. So, yes, TDC will rock as normal tomorrow. No TDC Thursday, but podcast will drop on that day. And then, of course, we'll be right back here on Friday. So really excited for that. Looking forward to it. Travis Allen, Chris, what do you think about the new offensive line coach? I think Lonnie Teasley, I think he did a good job filling in when Greg Atkins moved up to the analyst role. And I think the offensive line got a lot better, right? I think the offensive line got a lot better over the course of the year. So, I've got no problem with it. I think it's a good move. Again, the offensive line after week one, I basically just said they were trash. They were terrible. And, kudos to those guys. Kudos to them for figuring it out and improving as the season went on. I think that while the offensive line was not perfect, it was not a scenario where we looked at and we were saying that the offensive line's to blame for all of our issues, right? I mean, I think especially the last 2 weeks of the regular season, I mean, I thought they played well, especially you look against Clem Sucks. I mean, one of the best defensive fronts in college football, and I thought they held their own. You know what I mean? It wasn't like you were able to run the ball, at an elite level by any means, but they held their own, right? And I think that'll improve as you improve the talent up front, which is why you've seen and why you saw the recruiting class so heavy on talent in the trenches. I mean, Shane Beamer. I mean, you look at last night, guys, the reason Georgia did what they did is because they have the players up front, man. They've got, I mean, dude, Kirby Smart said it in pregame. It's not it was Nick Saban that said it in pregame. It's not the sexiest thing to talk about. I say this every single year, but Nick Saban said it, line of scrimmage. I mean, dude, Nick Saban called it in pregame. He said TCU is going to have to score 40 plus to win, right? He knew it. And they would have needed more, obviously, but Georgia, just their size and their talent advantage up front. I mean, that's where they beat you. That's where they get you. They got great players everywhere, but that's where it starts. And so, no, listen, I mean, I like the move. Again, I think Lonnie Teasley did a good job, and we'll see how it plays out. But yeah. So, anyways, 843-790-3377. My good friend P-Dawk posting the video from MVP Baseball 2006. What a game that was, man. What a game. I've got the PS3. I almost wish I had a PS2 so I could play it. Although I don't game a whole lot. I really don't game a whole lot. So anyways, it's funny. I bought a PS5 and I ain't played it in weeks. So, haven't played it in weeks. Aaron Hodges, your grade for the offensive line this year. I'd probably go like a C. I go a C. Yeah. I mean, the run offense still wasn't great, right? Pass blocking was solid. I mean, it wasn't great either. Luke RJ, can you play PS2 games on PS3? Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Now you got me wondering. Now you got me wondering. Ain't no way, bro. There ain't no. I think you've got to have a backwards compatible PS3, which I don't know that I don't know that I have that. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't think that I have a back. I don't know if that one. I have actually never checked. So, you would think though, with like the college football, the college football revamp, the mod and stuff like that. And so you're able to like download games. You would think you'd be able to download. I don't know though. I have no idea. Yeah, I heard a couple of Georgia players. Talking about, they thought we were going 7-5. It's like, dude, Georgia was favored in every game. Georgia was picked to go undefeated by a lot of people. So, but you know what though? Hey, kudos to Kirby Smart. Truly kudos to Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart was able to convince his team that they were somehow the underdogs, which is nuts. So, Queen Slayer, I can assure you the reason that I have not played the PS5 is not because of Miss TSUS. I've just been busy. I've been busy, and I'm not a huge gamer anyways, man. Like, it's kind of interesting, like being an entrepreneur, like normally, like, and I'm able to detach and relax and wind down and whatever, but it's crazy, man. Like if I'm sitting around and I have quote unquote nothing to do, like you never have nothing to do as an entrepreneur, right? So it's like when you're playing video games, it's like, should I be doing something else more productive? I don't know. Anyways, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Zach.
Zach, man, what's up? How are you?
Riding around getting it, man. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
I just want to get your 2 cents on our wide receiver room. Obviously, like, really excited Juice is coming back. Hopefully Spencer announces he's coming back today. Mm-hmm. But other than Juice, I mean, Xavier Legette had a solid into the season. Obviously, that kick return was awesome.
Yeah.
Played well against Notre Dame, but I'm a little concerned about just like the depth. I know we have some talent. It's unproven, but what are your thoughts on that? Do you think we should attack the transfer portal and try to add a couple guys, or do you think Beamer's just going to go with what we got?
I think it would be very beneficial to hit the portal. When you look at the returners, I mean, obviously Juice is wide receiver 1. He's going to be your guy, no doubt, go-to guy on a week-in, week-out basis. You know, you need some other guys to step up. Like, you need Leggett to be a consistent playmaker, consistent threat. He showed flashes, right? Showed flashes at the end of the season. And I thought he did a great job this previous season bouncing back from, you know, the early season struggles. I think most people wrote him off after the SC State game, and he dropped a pair of passes and they were intercepted. And, you know, I mentioned it like a week or two ago that I thought Leggett was one of the best, you know, comeback stories, if you will, or one of the best stories of the season, just the way he rebounded from that. So, you know, I think Leggett needs to step up his game and be more consistent. Amarian Brown's a guy. I mean, DeCarrion Joyner, could he factor in some type of way? You know, you need your youngsters that you've recruited, Omega Blake, Landon Sampson. You need them to come into their own. And also, who's the kid you brought into this year's class? I think it was, God, I don't want to butcher his name, but Kelton Henderson, I think is his name or something. I'm going to pull it up now. Anyways, though, you have some of these young guys that could help you. But I definitely think you know, Vakari Swain's another one. He's an athlete. Yeah, Kelton Henderson. He's the athlete from Lehigh Acres, Florida, 4-star. So you got some young guys that can help you. But
there was one more guy, too.
Yeah, it's
I can't think of the name. He's from Georgia.
Let's see.
Kind of like a hybrid. He's like a bigger guy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
He committed pretty early.
I know Judge Collier is another guy. He's an athlete, so I don't know if that's the other one. I don't know. And also, you got your tight ends. I mean, they're going to help you in your passing game as well. But yes, to your point, if you can go add another. Oh, C.J. Adams is another. Yeah, Mableton, Georgia, 6'2", 211. That's it. C.J. Adams. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, you got these young guys. You got talented young guys you're bringing in. But I definitely think, like, if you could go into the portal and snag another Juice Wells, or 75% of what Juice Wells is, you take them, no doubt. No doubt you take them. So
that's what I'm hoping, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to. I was just going to say, to your point, one last thing. Like, it's tough to predict exactly what Beamer's going to do in the portal because none of us are in there. But you know, Beamer's track record at this point shows me that if he sees a guy in the portal that can help us, and there's a realistic shot we can get him, he's going to go get him. So that's what I would say.
I hear that. Yeah, I'm curious, John, how many more spots we have available. Dude, I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure because you factor in guys who hit the portal and leave, and then guys you've added. It's kind of a mess, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah, man, that's something I'm looking for, hopefully, because Spencer comes back. Maybe a couple guys that are in the portal now be a little more interested in coming to play for us. But, yeah, man, I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And thank you for taking the call. Keep doing your thing, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the call. Have a great day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you too.
Take care. Great stuff. Again, 843-790-3377. Let's take a look. We got a text here on the text line. Says, what's your chances of Spencer coming back? And if not, who wins the job? Chances that Spencer Rattler comes back? I mean, I'd say at this point, 90%. I mean, dude, Juice is coming back. I think Spencer's back. If hypothetically he did not, I think Luke Doty would be the leader in the clubhouse. But like I said, guys, I just Juice Wells said it so many times, right? Juice said it so many times. I'm waiting to see what my quarterback does. It depends on my quarterback. Like, I just don't see a scenario in which Juice would have come back if Spencer Rattler was not returning. I just don't see that. I just don't see that. I simply just don't see that. So we are all waiting on the edge of our seats, of course. Would love for it to drop during TDC. That would be awesome. But, yeah, we all hoping it happens today, obviously. Let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from
Hunter.
Hunter, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. What about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. So I was watching that, obviously watching the Georgia game, but man, they definitely took an ass whooping for sure. I figured, TCU would have played Georgia like they did with Michigan, but I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, the quarterback wasn't even having a good night at all.
Yeah, that was a blowout. That was a good old fashioned ass kicking, man. And again, you gotta tip your cap to Georgia and what they've built. And again, they've done a great job, man. I mean, that's what it looks like though when Georgia has not had a recruiting class that has finished outside of the top 3, I believe it is, since 2016.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like. You know what I mean? They've got the players, man.
Wow.
That's 6 years or whatever of stacking elite recruiting classes, the best players in the country. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, but I think they also had a lot of seniors too, I believe.
I mean, they had a lot of seniors last year. So they reload, man. They reload. And I mean, Kirby made the point last night. He said apparently, I mean, I don't know exactly how many they get back, but he said they get a lot of their team back. So, you know, Georgia's not going away, man. Georgia's not, even if they were to, quote unquote, take a step back in 2023, I mean, they're not going away. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, I can't fathom Georgia not being good at football. I just can't. And really, there's no excuse for Georgia to not be good. There really isn't. The fact that they went 40 years without winning a national title is crazy to me. It is.
Yeah, I mean, unless they lose Kirby Smart, I mean, otherwise, I just don't see them, you know.
And I think Kirby Smart's probably a lifer at Georgia. I really do. He's an alum of the school. Why would he leave? Like, why would he leave?
The NFL, if you really want to coach at the NFL level, but
he's in a good spot, man.
yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
he's in a good spot.
Especially Alabama. I mean, I think they got number 1 recruiting class this year, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of curious how that's going to go with them and Georgia facing each other.
Yeah, well, I'll just from the South Carolina perspective, I'll just say this: if the Gamecocks are going to win the SEC East, they're going to have to go get Georgia. Georgia ain't coming down. They're going to have to go get them. Now, is Georgia going to be as good as they were this year forever? Probably not, right? But you think back to when South Carolina won the SEC East in 2010, right? And you look at the layout of the East at that point, right? South Carolina went 9-5, 5-3 in conference, and won the SEC East. That will never happen again. That will never ever happen again.
Right.
You know. So South Carolina, 9-3 in the regular season, but that will never happen again. South Carolina is going to have to go get Georgia. They're going to have to beat Georgia. You know, I just don't see a scenario where we can bank on, maybe Georgia has a down year. I don't see it. They're just too talented. They're too deep. The Gamecocks will have to take it.
I mean, they had a down year in 2019, and I do believe that they didn't really have a quarterback because their quarterback was trash anyway from 2019. But
we're talking.
Yeah, I mean,
that was Aaron Murray, or that was no, that wasn't Aaron Murray. That was
I forgot his name.
Jake Fromm. Yeah.
Yeah, Jake Fromm. Yeah. Yeah.
Georgia, by the way, that season went
12-2,
7-1 in the SEC. Their only loss was to, of course, us. So, and we went 4-8 that year. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not pretty open. No. I mean, if we this, I don't want to beat them.
Yeah. Hunter, I appreciate you calling in, my guy. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
We're losing you, Hunter, on the in regards to service. So apologies there, Hunter. Could not hear what you were saying. Chase said, is Nate Atkins coming back, or was that his last year? That was his last year. Nate's done. Nate Atkins is done. Nate Atkins is indeed done. Kelly, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Says, listen to your show daily. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Blind Squirrel says UGA schedule got a lot easier when the SEC canceled the Dogs' Week 3 visit to Oklahoma next year. Let's see. My guy Luke RJ just commented joiner. I don't know what he's I don't know what he's talking about. John Rice says, what's in the corner? What specifically are you talking about, my guy? Are you talking about this? Are you talking about what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? What corner? There's a lot of corners in here. Yeah, that's a stick. Yeah. So believe it or not, when I lived in Columbia, somebody gave me that. It was just like it's got Gamecocks painted on it. So and like the bottom kind of looks like a Gamecocks like leg. I don't know. Somebody just gave me that. It's a cool looking thing. It's got Gamecocks painted on it. So yeah. I'm going to at some point. I need to hang up that Beamer Rattler shirt. I need to hang up that Beamer. Thankfully, thank goodness for the finish to the 2022 season, because that shirt, that right there, that piece of memorabilia right there went from being worthless to a fond memory, right? If we had not won the last two games, the Beamer Rattler 22 merch, it would have been the most memorable yard work shirt of all time, right? People just would have been doing their yard work in it. Yeah, so thankfully, though, that's not the case. 843-790-3377, guys. Again, somebody asked earlier about the wide receiver room and what do we expect Shane Beamer to do. I mean, it's tough to say exactly what Beamer is going to do. But I'll say this again. I think Shane Beamer's track record, I think it's very well known at this point. If he sees a guy in the portal that can help us, he's going to take him. And if there's mutual interest, he's going to take him. Brendan Hyder says Wells Rattler merch coming. That is something, my friend, I would not release unless we had a deal in place with those guys. So, we'll try to work on some things behind the scenes and go from there. And I'll let you guys know. We actually did, though, speaking of that, we did drop some new merch. I have not thrown it on social media quite yet, but we did drop some new merch late last night, available at tsus.store. All we got is all we need merch. All we got is all we need. I think it's just a nice piece, right? And it's just a subtle reminder, right, that all we got is all we need. So tsus.store is where you can check that out. Also, guys, I want to bring this to the forefront. A week from today is 1 month until opening day, okay? A week from today, 1 month till opening day. Within the next week, I will be relaunching all of our baseball merchandise. You guys might not recall, but we have a lot of great baseball merchandise, right, that we've created over the years. That was like my really big, that was my first big merch release. Like, I remember releasing that way back in, God, I'd say it was January of 2018, I think, right? We dropped when was it? Maybe it was January of 2019, I think, actually. I'm trying to recall here. Yeah, because it was after the 2018 season. That was Kingston's first season, right? The 2018 season was Kingston's first season. So it was January or so, or spring of 2019. We dropped the, Hail to the King merch, the Mark Kingston merch. We dropped the Win Anyway, the Kiss the Rings. Also, last year, of course, we dropped the Yardcock baseball merch, which I think is that is honestly one of my favorite pieces of merch. I think one of the most underrated pieces of merch we've ever made. And also the little logo of the chicken holding the bat. I think that's such a, I'm going to push that logo more this spring. So anyways, we'll be relaunching a lot of our baseball merchandise on Comfort Colors and stuff like that. Like, I have not gotten it out yet on the Comfort Color side of things. So really excited, though. Be sure to support the baseball merchandise. And of course, as things happen with Gamecocks football and the wheels turn, if you will, the merch will continue to flow. And I love creating merchandise, and I appreciate you guys. And, it's awesome. And when I first started the business, I knew merchandise was something I wanted to do. And I was always, I always admired people that use their creative energy to again, create merchandise and create something, that has value for the masses. And it's something where, I take a lot of pride in being able to create things that you cannot get in the bookstore per se, or things that aren't just kind of your typical Block C, like basic. I mean, you can only have so many Block C polos, right? You can only have so many basic Gamecock t-shirts, right? So I love, thinking creatively, thinking outside of the box, doing different things, and really appreciate you guys. And it's still just one of those things where, like, it never gets old. It never gets old seeing people rocking the merchandise. I mean, it's just such a blessing. I mean, it's such a blessing, man. I can't say it enough. It's incredible, and I'm truly grateful and appreciative of you guys for the love and support on the merchandise side of the business. So, guys, that being said, we're going to go and jump into a quick break. On the other side, I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. David Garrick says, any The Juice is Loose merch. I don't know. I don't know yet, David. I don't know. I shot Juice Wells a DM. I don't think anybody would mind me saying that. I shot him. We're still waiting to hear response. I don't know if just like a text, The Juice is Loose shirt would really. I don't know. I don't know if that would really hit like that. I mean, it could be cool. It could be cool, but I don't know. I'll let you guys know what we're thinking. I'll let you guys know exactly what we're thinking here. So. David Barnes says Jocelyn's Tennessee and Clemson's game victory t-shirts were fire. Yes, they were. Yes, they were indeed. They were indeed. Yeah, Jocelyn did a great job with those. I know, again, guys, there was a little bit of a delay. It took a little bit longer to get those than expected, but I can assure you that moving forward, the kinks have been worked out because we are in the works with some new ideas. So, again, guys, really excited for it. The big news, of course, in the last 24 hours, Juice Wells is returning. Juice Wells returning. Will Corp says The Juice is Loose, the number 3 on it, maybe. Yeah, potentially. I just, with something like that, Will, like I'd love to get Juice Wells involved, and to set up some sort of, deal with him. Of course, we've done NIL deals with players and collabed on merchandise, right? We've done our shooter shoot stuff. We did our Burgie barrels, Gilly. People forget about the baseball stuff we did. Gilly, Burgie barrels. We've done, different stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's just January, right? We got a long ways to go for the season, but you guys know. We're hard at work on it and excited for what's to come on the merch side of things. Which side are we? We got both sides here. What a time. Thank you, Jocelyn. What a time. So, Hudson says, take a sip of that with a juicy box. Indeed. Lynn Turner says, work on the Kai's My Guy merch. He's a Kai's My Guy. Oh, man. Yeah, why not? That'd be fun. It'd be very fun. Jeff Gullidge says, when's the last day to sign transfers? Yes, great question. Important dates to note. The NFL draft declaration deadline is January the 16th, so next Monday. And the transfer portal window closes on January the 19th, which will be next Thursday. Okay, so a little bit over a week we've still got of some of the portal madness, although I feel like it's slowed down a bit, right? I feel like it's slowed down a bit. So, anyways, I feel like my guy Luke RJ wants me to acknowledge the fact that yes, indeed, Dak Joyner did play a major role in the 2019 win over Georgia. Yes, I believe he did play a major role. Luke RJ, you're correct. He kept the ship afloat, if you will. He kept the ship afloat. Didn't do anything crazy, but he kept the ship afloat, which, hey, is more than a lot of others can say. So, cheers to him. Again, guys, would love to hear from you all. Exciting stuff here on this Tuesday, January the 10th, 2023. Really excited again to get down to Hilton Head and, just feel so blessed to do so. Guys, I take none of this for granted. It's sometimes I think we get caught up and we get we get lost in the hustle and bustle and some of the drama that comes with it and stuff like that. Luke, RJ, and we have I know I reference certain people, right? But I reference people that are in the Big Cock Club Discord that we have. I mean, guys, we're very active in this Discord, by the way, in case you were wondering, like, oh, am I going to join the Big Cock Club? And it's not really a whole lot going on. No, I mean, we're constantly every single day. And I'll shout out the Big Cock Club specifically because, it's funny how, like, you go on your journey, your business journey, whatever, and you incorporate new things. And, the Big Cock Club, summer of 2021 was a brand new thing. Had never done it before. And I was like, you know what? I finally am at the point where I really feel like, I have the value add to provide to my audience. And now we sit here and it's funny. Like I couldn't even fathom not doing I couldn't fathom not having the Big Cock Club. Big Cock Club is such a integral part of my daily routine, right? Like I wake up, I check this, check that. I check the Big Cock Club. You know what I mean? Like we're in the Big Cock Club conversating day in, day out. And, but so I reference people that are in there, but, we have conversations about different things. And, again, I know at times we can get caught up in the hustle and bustle, but, okay, we got a spam call. Somebody calling up my car's extended warranty, I guess. Anyways, though, we can get caught up in the hustle and bustle at times and some different things that happen, but it's such a blessing, truly, that, I'm able to wake up and, fuel my passions and my dreams, and just so grateful for the opportunity to do it. You know what I mean? It's a blessing, man. I have tons of perspective, and that drives my gratitude, really. I mean, I recall, 6 years ago this month we started, and, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, working a corporate job and wearing a slacks and a button up and cold calling and doing all that, and was not fulfilled and was not happy and was far from the best version of myself. And, so I don't take it for granted that, like, we get to do this. I don't, it's a blessing. And I truly appreciate and love each and every single one of you. So let's jump back to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, Zaxby's Hall of Famer.
Robbie, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just finished my lunch, and now I'm eating dessert. Just because I felt like eating dessert.
I love that. I love that.
First off, congrats to Georgia. As much as I hate saying that, congrats to Georgia. And congrats to TCU. I mean, for crying out loud, y'all. All right? They played a fantastic playoff game, and for some reason, it just didn't click. It obviously, the game went almost about as everybody predicted. I was shocked when I saw Lee Corso put on the TCU hat. I was like, "Are you seriously picking TCU?" There's no. That game went as everybody predicted. No. And I don't know if you remember this, but you remember a couple months back, whenever that Coastal Carolina fan was asking you if they would ever have a chance to beat an SEC school.
Right.
Last night was your proof. Okay. Now I did already look at the schedule from 2 years from now. We are playing Coastal in 2025. Okay, we're playing Coastal in 2025. I got a friend that lives in Myrtle Beach. I'm going to try and get him to a ticket for that game because he wants to go to a Carolina game with me. But last night was proof that teams like TCU need their own playoff.
I mean, I wouldn't say the Big 12 needs its own playoff. I mean, there's never going to come a time where the SEC.
No, I wasn't saying the Big 12. I mean teams like TCU.
But TCU is in the Big 12, Robbie.
I know that. I know they're in the Big 12. What I mean, is they're like. Was I pulling for TCU last night? Yes. Was I expecting TCU to pull a miracle out of their butt? No. I knew that game was going to get ugly and ugly quick. The second they got up 17-7, I was like, it's over. Stick a fork in it. The turkey's done, or the frog is done. You can take the frog legs out and eat the frog legs. It's over. And honestly, I like you, I got nothing but respect for Georgia. But Clemson can kiss my keister where my cheeks meet. Okay, I hate Clemson. Clemson sucks. All right, they suck. And I think Stetson Bennett proved a lot of people because that like he said, right? Like they said in the pregame,
Mhm.
even the Georgia coaches didn't like Stetson Bennett at all. They tried to get him to transfer, but he didn't do it. And now he's got 2 national titles. So I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The man is he's a dog, okay? And I don't mean like the Georgia Bulldog. I mean like he's a gamer. He's the definition of a gamer. If he's in a game, it's on. But Georgia just
Robbie,
gave TCU
John,
an ass whooping.
our friend John Rice, he wants you to go back to the comment about TCU needs their own playoff. Who would be in the playoff with TCU if they had their own playoff?
No, I mean like conferences like what TCU is in need their own playoff. That's what I meant to say. It came out.
So the Big 12 needs their own playoff outside of the SEC.
Yeah, like the Big 12. I mean, even the Big 10 for crying out loud.
So what? Then this leads me to another question because I'm really curious now. Robbie Davis is in charge of constructing the college football playoff and determining a national champion. What's your playoff? What's your playoff system? Because now I need to understand how you're determining a national champion.
Am I happy for TCU? Yes, but do you really think TCU? Whenever Georgia won their playoff game, I was like, there's no way TCU is going to win, but I'm pulling for TCU because. But here's why I think there's colleges out there that actually they've had playoffs for years. Okay. All right. Even before the big playoff became a thing, they already had their own playoff and their own national championship. Okay. And they said it last night after the game, whenever the game was basically in hand, which was after the second quarter. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
6 out of the 9 seasons of the playoff, an SEC team has won it. So what more proof do you need that the SEC is better than any other conference out there? Because there's a guy that I know, and he swears up and down the Big Ten is better than the SEC.
Mm-hmm. So basically what you're saying is that the SEC champion should just be the national champion.
Basically, yeah. I guess you could put it that way. Yeah.
So your playoff is just the top 4 teams from the SEC. They should just have a playoff.
Well, I mean that wouldn't really be fair. But anywho, who gives a damn, right? But what I'm trying to say is this. Teams like TCU, Ohio State, like teams that are in the top 10 that honestly should not be in the top 10, but the only reason they're in the top 10 is because they're winning. I think something needs to change because even when TCU was undefeated, I thought to myself, "There's no way they're gonna." I was like, they're probably gonna make the playoff, and get their butt beat in the playoffs like a drum. Which, shocker, they beat Ohio State. Okay, either one, Ohio State for some reason Ohio State does good in the regular season, but whenever they got pressure on them, they don't do well because they gave up 50 points to TCU. If I would have been the Ohio State head coach, I would have been like, if you so much as let TCU score a touchdown, all the players that are on scholarship, you're at risk of losing your scholarship because it should not happen.
So, Robbie, who would have been in your playoff this year? Who would have been in your playoff? What 4 teams would have been in your playoff?
Georgia, obviously. Mm-hmm. Georgia would have been in there.
Mm-hmm. What other 3 teams would have been in your playoff?
I would not have put Alabama in there.
Okay. I said, what are the 3 teams? Okay, so you said you wouldn't have put Bama. Who would have been the other 3 teams?
Bama, because they have to love Georgia. So Georgia would be one.
Okay.
I would put, even though they got their ass kicked, I'd probably put TCU in there. Just if I couldn't think of nobody else. But
Robbie, you just said they need their own playoff.
I'm having a brain fart here.
I know.
Yeah, okay. I got it. Okay. I figured it out. So Georgia, I would put Ohio State, and then I would put let's see. Dadgum, I'm having a brain fart, Chris. My brain's not wanting to work today. I would probably put if it wasn't for how the season ended, I probably would have put Arkansas in there.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Maybe Tennessee? Maybe?
And I'd put Tennessee in there.
All right. So
Tennessee would be 2. So Alabama, Tennessee.
All right. So we got a 14 playoff.
Right, I got it. Alabama, Tennessee would have been.
We got a 14 playoff of Georgia, Ohio State, Arkansas, and Tennessee. All right. Oh my God. Oh shit. The 6-6 Arkansas Razorbacks. Oh, Robbie, this is a great call, my friend. What a time. So LSU, who won the West, and Alabama, who went 10-2, they would not get in, but Arkansas would be in. Fair enough. What a time. I need you. I need you on the college football playoff committee. I would have loved for that to have been the playoff. I really would have. I really would have, Robbie. I really would have.
All right. Anywho, let's get to the meat and potatoes of the phone call real quick so I can get out of here. Okay. And Juice Wells is coming back. Okay. Juice Wells is coming back. Great. Awesome. Right. Awesome. Fantastic. Now we need Rattler to come back, but also Georgia proved if you got to recruit, right? But also you got to develop them, and we got to talk guys into staying. That's also the key. Recruiting and talking really good football players into staying. That's the key to building a winning program. And I think you're laughing at me right now. Oh Lordy.
I'm laughing at the comments. I'm laughing at the comments too. The comments. I know. See, I think what's so interesting about you, Robbie, you don't read any of the comments, which I appreciate, because we have some people that call in that literally read the comments as they are talking, which is also not a good move. And just, yeah, it's just silly. I'm the kind of guy. I know you don't give a hoot. I know you don't give a hoot. You don't give a darn. You don't give a monkey fart. I know you don't. I know you don't.
But okay. If Spencer comes back, the odds of me picking 10-2 are still going to be pretty slim because of who we're losing on the defensive side of the football. Because that's going to be a major question coming into the 2023 season is how is this defense going to look? We're losing our two best cornerbacks. We're losing one of our best defensive linemen in Zach Pickens. Okay. I'm curious. I'm really excited to see which underclassmen step up and say, this is going to be my year. I'm going to put this team on my back. We're going to do something. I'm going to prove that there was barely any drop off and we're going to take care of some business.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for that decision, that announcement to drop any moment now. So, Robbie, basketball game tonight. What's your prediction? Gamecocks taking on Kentucky, 19.5-point underdogs. What do you think?
So Kentucky's favored to win by 19.5.
Yes.
Okay. It will not be pretty for Gamecock Nation. Kentucky will beat our ass. It will be bad. They're going to beat us bad. It's going to probably – I'll be shocked if we score 60, to be honest with you. But my prediction is going to be 85-60.
Fair enough.
We're going to lose by 20.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah, this is going to be a bad season. So
the season. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell everybody now. It's going to be a bad season until Lamont Paris gets the guys that he knows he wants. Because the reason why he got all the guys he wanted that he has right now is because he had to basically hurry up and build a basketball team. Okay, but whenever he starts getting the guys that want to come play for him. I think it won't be great at first, but we'll have a little something to be proud of. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like it takes all 5 players working together on the court to have success. Right now, we look like a big old jumbled pile of crap. And honestly, I think Tennessee, the basketball team for Tennessee, I'll bet you, this is what I would have done. I think this is what he did. They beat our ass in football. So you go out here and you beat their ass in basketball, and they freaking beat our ass.
Yes, they did.
I didn't watch none of the games because I was at my brother's house doing Christmas stuff.
Right.
So I didn't watch none of it. I had a feeling it was going to be bad because we have had some horrible games this season already, and we're not even couple of months into the season. It feels like, but
85 to 60. 85 to 60. Yeah. 85 to 60.
It's going to be I'm going to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to watch it. It ain't going to be pretty.
Indeed. Robbie, you're the man. I'm going to let you go. We're going to keep it moving. I appreciate the call.
No
This
problem.
One of the more legendary calls, I will say.
I wouldn't say legendary. I kept having brain farts on the whole call. I'll be able to do it better if you give me some time to think about it.
You think on that. You think on who should have been your top your college football playoff, and you can get back to me tomorrow.
I'll have it for you. I'll have it for you by Friday.
Yeah, sounds good. Robbie, appreciate you.
Then
we got to
redo the whole playoff thing.
Yeah, Robbie, you're the man. Appreciate you. All right. we're going to jump to. We
Call
got another
from
call.
Aaron.
Here we go. Aaron, what's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm chilling. I like to listen to Robbie Davis and like follow up on some of his stuff, especially talking about TCU needing their own playoff. I mean, it's weird. I've always hated the South Carolina SEC bandwagon thing. You get where I'm going? Look, Jim McElwain's won the division twice. Freaking Dan Mullen won a division. The guy at Missouri won the division twice. How many times has South Carolina won the division since they've been in the SEC?
Once. One time, my friend. One time.
I mean, come on. But like, I'm not saying, listen, Steve Spurrier has upped the level. He definitely upped the level of not just Gamecock football, but like that was kind of a renaissance for Gamecock athletics overall. You know, the basketball team was decent. Oh, and speaking of which, Kentucky might. Where's the game? Is it in Columbia or in Lexington?
Oh, it's at Rupp Arena. It's in Lexington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Because typically in Columbia, I never forget. I know this is off on a tangent. 2005, I'll never forget it. It was like February 2005. It's the drunkest I've ever been in my life. No, second drunkest. We had a box at Colonial Life, and we had just come back from the Oyster Bar, right? You know, that was when we still had mini bottles in Columbia, and I had like 10 of them in my pocket, and we had that box watching the game, and South Carolina beat Kentucky, and I still don't know how I got into the house. I asked my brother. I was like, he locked the door, so I was sleeping on the porch. Like, how the hell did I get in the house? It's just a trip. But that's off on a tangent.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the SEC thing because Steve Spurrier upped the level. Like, he upped the level of Gamecock football. But other than the Steve Spurrier years, it really hasn't been much done. And
yeah.
we talk about listen, Alabama, Georgia, LSU. LSU. I give it LSU. They're upper crust. They get respect anywhere they go. Mm-hmm. Like teams shouldn't be riding the coattails of Alabama and Georgia. I want both of them to lose, and then I want them to lose so much that they dig up the stadium and pour salt on the ground. We get no cachet from Alabama and Georgia winning. It doesn't help South Carolina in recruiting. It doesn't garner more money for South Carolina. It's Alabama and Georgia getting more resources to dominate college football. And that's why I told you, I said in the chat earlier, until Florida State, Miami, Texas, Southern Cal, Penn State, you know, the traditional powers, until they start getting better, Alabama, Georgia, I say Ohio State because they kill it too. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and what's the other school? They recruit traditionally in the top 5 every year, and they freaking kill it. They're consolidating all the talent, and they are just mashing everyone in the ground. And then when they go to the transfer portal, they get the cream of the crop too. Mm-hmm. So I just think the only reason I say that is because when Florida State, Miami, and Texas are really good, Georgia can't just go and raid that state, because think of all the talent they pulled out of Alabama on its own. Alabama and Georgia have pulled out of the state of Florida. Mm-hmm.
though Jared Judy and Amari Cooper and like that speed that they got. All of those guys are from Florida. The defensive backs, I remember they had the boy from American Heritage. He was off the hook. Chandler, I think his name was. They just go and raid that state. So I think it helps South Carolina be good because you can, like, everybody's not going to Georgia. Georgia have to make concessions if Florida State and Miami are good. You can't just rate it, and that helps South Carolina by being able to go into Georgia and pick up. It's going to be second tier talent because most of the time Georgia gets who they want.
Right.
It's just I just don't like I don't like the riding of the coattail thing. TCU would, I don't know, outside of those last two games, but before November, TCU would have demolished South Carolina. So it's talking about a different playoff. All right, man. I'm just I don't know. It's typical game.
I agree with you. I agree. I was not pulling for Georgia last night, so.
Typical Gamecock fashion. Always get over the skis. I'm gonna get off, but I gotta say this. Spencer Rattler is in no man's land because in a sense he had an awful year. Other than November, he had an outstanding November. But he's not going to get drafted before the fifth round. I'm not some NFL expert, but he didn't. Spencer Rattler is the most talented quarterback in South Carolina football history. I stand by that from the very moment he chose South Carolina. It was a big balls move. But he's not going to get drafted and then coming back with the weapons on offense, and this is the state of the entire team. You can't lose your best defenders and some of your best, all of your offensive line, your best running back, and it's just typical depth pieces, and think you're going to be better. But I just talk about it. I just talk about it, and we just speculate until we see him on the field. We never know what will happen. He might build on those last two games and just knock it out of the park the whole season. But I don't know. I doubt it. I'd like to see it, but we'll see. That's why they play, and I don't. All right, man.
Aaron, you're the man. I appreciate the call. Always a pleasure. Appreciate Aaron. That was awesome. I will say this. I see John Edward kind of going off. Rattler did have a rough year for 10 to 12 games. It was not good. So I would expect the decision for Spencer Rattler to come today, and according to our good friend Mike Gillespie, and I would be surprised if he's not coming back. I would be surprised. Let's see. Jesse Jacobs says, Chris, just checking in. My car just got broken into at work. Need Spence to announce and help my day. Well, Jesse, I hate to hear that, my friend, and I hope that everything's okay. Hate to hear that. Yeah, there's no update yet on Spencer Rattler. Somebody commented that he had announced. He has not announced yet. So we will continue to wait and to see. But biggest takeaway from the last, 30 minutes or so is that Robbie Davis said that Arkansas should have been in the playoff. You just never know what you're going to get when you tune into TDC. Guys, on that note, let's go ahead and jump into a break. On the other side, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. An electric day thus far. Really excited. We'll be heading down to the Low Country after the show today. We've got our, I was going to say live show, but we've got our event tomorrow night, I should say, at Carolina Cigars in Hilton Head Island. We'll also be operating the Daily Crow tomorrow live from the Cigar Lounge. Going to be a really, really good time for the next couple of days in Hilton Head. So all my Low Country Gamecocks, hope to see you all down there. Going to be a good time. Going to be smoking some stogies, talking Gamecocks, what have you. Of course, tonight, South Carolina takes on the Kentucky Wildcats, 7 o'clock on ESPN2. My prediction of the game tonight, pain. A lot of pain. I know Kentucky has not been great, but yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be rough. 19.5-point underdogs. That's just the reality of where we are. So maybe G.G. Jackson can score a point tonight. And I'd imagine he'll have a bounce-back game. I mean, that's really the big storyline, right? It's just what does G.G. Jackson do? After going scoreless in this past weekend's game, I should say, going scoreless in the game against Tennessee. How does G.G. Jackson bounce back, right? I mean, because this South kind of season's about him. This South kind of football season, I'm all flustered. I'm all over the place. I see you guys commenting on football. I don't know. Anyways, the big storyline for this Kentucky game is how does G.G. Jackson bounce back? Because that's what this season's about, is developing him, getting him to the next level. Because that's something, if you're Lamont Paris, you can sell that in recruiting. Hey, look what we did with such a prized prospect in G.G. Jackson, and you can come here, do the same, get a great education, take South Carolina basketball to heights it's never been before. So I'm really curious and intrigued to see how he bounces back on the road. Every single game, all eyes are on him, just with the amount of recruiting hype and hoopla he came in with. So, I'm excited to see what G.G. Jackson does tonight. And again, just how he's able to bounce back. You're asking a young guy to do so much, but it comes to the territory when you're the type of player that he is. So what does G.G. Jackson do? Can he bounce back? That'll be big to watch. Aaron Hodges. And I'll say this, Aaron, to your point. I see Aaron. I see your points, Aaron, about Spencer Rattler. And listen, Spencer Rattler was not great early in the season. He was absolutely not great. I mean, I definitely put some of that, though, or a lot of that on Marcus Satterfield. I mean, to me, Rattler was a guy early in the season that just looked flat out confused. He was just all over the place, right? Nothing looked good. And things obviously changed after the Florida game. And all of a sudden, wouldn't you know it, his game changed, right? So I don't know. I'm hesitant to pile on him necessarily. I mean, I think that, under Dowell Loggins, he, would be set up and could be set up to have a much, much bigger year, a much better year, obviously. But, yeah, we will see. So we shall see. Chuck says, I think the OC no longer here, thank heavens, had way too many personnel packages and schemes, and the guys, including Rattler, had to think way too much instead of just reacting. For sure. I mean, we know that for a fact, that was one of the big things that changed. And Aaron Hodges said, you can't blame him, Satterfield, for all the turnovers. I hear what you're saying, Aaron. I trust me. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But again, the scheme was terrible too. It was awful. It was awful. I mean, it's really wild. It's really wild when you look back at the 2022 season and just how bad it was. Like the offense, guys, wasn't average. It was terrible. It was terrible early in the season. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Right? So Yeah, Coach Ford. It was dreadful until game 11. Yeah, I mean, it really was. The offense was dreadful until that Tennessee game. So, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Yes, Madison, our good friend Mike Gillespie from ABC Columbia has said that apparently per sources, we could be hearing from Spencer Rattler today in regards to his future plans, whether he's going to come back, whether he's going to hit the draft. I mean, I tend to think, guys, again, Juice Wells is back. I tend to think he will be back. Also, you know, Juice Wells made it so clear so many times that, you know, depending on what my quarterback does, that's what I'm going to do. I got to think that he'll be back. Somebody asked, I think John Edward asks, who do we play this weekend? Yeah, South Carolina basketball, we play tonight at Kentucky, 7 o'clock on ESPN2 at Rupp Arena. And then this weekend, we actually return home to begin a 3-game home stretch, if you will. This Saturday, the Gamecocks take on Texas A&M at the CLA. 6 o'clock tip-off on the SEC Network, guys. I'll be totally honest with you. Unless it aligns where baseball and basketball fall on the same weekend and I'm in town for a home baseball series and basketball also plays at home, I probably will not be going out of my way to go to a home basketball game this season. I mean, we're just terrible, guys. We're terrible. We're terrible. So I don't know what else to say. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
King.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Good, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Man, nothing much. I just wanted to just a quick question. Did you see what Montague Raines had posted last night?
I did not see what
It was like a post and delete.
I did not see it. No.
He was, you know, he does his little he does his recruiting on there, like to Nick Carver and stuff.
Right.
But he said our duo, we just got our duo back. Come on and join us. He's talking about Spencer and Wells right after Wells. But then everybody started saying, "What did you just leak?" And they started.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, he deleted it.
Yeah.
So that was just a little inside. I mean, it was out there, but I was just seeing if you saw that. That's all I was calling for. So Spencer's definitely 99.9 coming back because Montague basically spilled the beans already.
Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, I think it's coming. I think it's a matter of when, not if. So.
Yeah, just a matter. Yep.
Yeah.
Just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
So, hey, I appreciate the call, man. Thanks so much.
For sure, man.
Yeah, man. Take care. It's kind of funny how on TBC we've got some callers that they call in, they get their point across, and they're done. And I love that. So we've got some people that have like 2-minute long calls, and then we got some people that have literally 20-minute calls. The spectrum is just all over the place. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see. Travis Allen better not sleep early this year, opening with North Carolina and Charlotte. They'll be ready for revenge. Yeah, again, Travis Allen, all I'm waiting on is Spencer Rattler to announce what he's going to do. And then really the back half of this week. The back half of this week will be way too early 2023 projections and stuff like that, which will be a lot of fun. I mean, I love that stuff. It's never too early, right? And that's what makes college football so incredible, right? Is the predictions and the projections and the daydreaming almost, right? Of a season to come, right? Of the season that will be. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that UNC game. You could argue it's the most important game of the year. Could you not? I mean, I absolutely think you could. I think you could absolutely argue it's the most important game of the season because it's just going to set the tone. You know what I mean? It's going to set the tone for the entire year, right? They're going to have Drake May back. It's going to be a great challenge for your secondary, a retooled secondary. No more Cam Smith, no more Darius Rush. And I think we feel good about the guys we have, right? The Marcellus Dials, the DQ Smiths of the world, the Nick Eamon-Warries. It's not like we're completely lacking and we think that Drake May is going to throw for 400, 500 yards, but it's a, formidable opponent for sure, for a retooled defense. So that'll be a fun one. But again, I think that's a game that will most certainly, if you're going to And I wonder what the over-under win total will be in Vegas. But if you're going to increase your win total, let's just say that, from 2022 to 2023, I think that UNC game is one you really need. I think that UNC game, you could almost argue, is one that you have to have. What say you? What say you? Is UNC the most important game on the 2023 schedule? I know it's crazy early, right? But that's what we do here, right? That's what we do this week. That's what we do this time of year, looking ahead way too early, predictions, projections, all that good stuff. That's a big game. That's an important game. And, I really wish that was an on-campus game. I'd love to go to Chapel Hill. I think it would have been a really, really good time. I understand that we've got this, I don't know, man. We've got this weird obsession with playing in the neutral site. And it's cool. It's cool, but I think Gamecock Nation has a little bit of Charlotte fatigue, right? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. Tyler Noel says, it feels like old times again. Football is relevant. We're rushing through basketball season and get to baseball. I have high expectations for this ball club. Supers or bust, in my opinion. Yeah, Tyler Noel, it's Tyler, let's call it for what it is. It's unfortunate. The only tradition that South Carolina men's basketball has is traditionally every year, men's basketball just serves as that thing that we endure between the end of football season and the start of baseball season. That's Gamecocks men's basketball's role at this point. And it's a shame and it's unfortunate. Lamont Paris is fighting his tail off to change that, but that's what Gamecocks men's basketball is at this point. It's a tale as old as time. Like you said, we go through football season. We're excited. We're pumped. We play the bowl game. And then we just rush through basketball season, counting down the days till opening day. That's the unfortunate reality. Hopefully we get to a point where that's not the case. Hopefully we get to a point where, we're really looking forward to basketball and we're so excited for basketball. But I mean, guys, I tried to do a countdown series, countdown videos for, counting down to the basketball season. And I was posting them and I literally had people telling me, Chris, stop. It's football season. Why are you doing this? like people just, hey man, stop. It's football season. Like basketball is such an afterthought. Men's basketball. It's such an afterthought. It's crazy, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, and that's okay. Listen, that's okay. There's not how many schools out there, embrace every sport equally. You know what I mean? How many, it's okay. Like we are a baseball school. And I understand we haven't been great lately, but we're a baseball school. We're a baseball and women's basketball school. We are. And that's okay. That's okay. Bruin Nation said, imagine doing an NCAA simulation for basketball. That would be fun. Bruin Nation, that would be fun. That would actually be a lot of fun. And I did that over COVID. It was a good time. It was actually a really good time. Jeff Gullidge, Drake May did not enter the transfer portal. No, he did not. He did not. Lynn Turner, UNC game is big. Their defense is suspect, so the story that day might be our defense. Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, Lynn. I know that's way down the road, but I definitely would expect that game to be high-scoring. No question. Coach Ford says, Gamecocks basketball, the 4-month root canal. Oh, my God. That's such a good way to put it, though. I hate that, but that's such a good way to put it. Yep, that's yeah. Let's see. You know what's so funny, and not to bring up drama. I'm really not bringing up drama, but it's funny to me, because you speak on the simulations, and of course we do it, guys, every single year. We do the season simulation series, and it's just it's just weird to me that people. And I guess there's no explanation behind why certain people feel the way they do about certain things. But there are people out there that hate on that content, that hate on that video game content. And I'm like, I just feel like you have to be a miserable person to go out of your way to like try to shit on that. Like that is some of the most pure, unfiltered, just like childhood fun type of content you can make. I just don't like it's not meant to be serious. And Bruin Nation, I know you weren't bashing. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking, but like there are people, there's not many, but there are some people that are like, they just hate on, and I'm like, you need to lighten up. Like, you need to not take life so seriously. You know what I mean? Like, not take things. It's literally meant to be fun. It's silly. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's awesome. Like, the simulations are absurd, right? And I'm going to try to play with sliders or something where, like, the games are higher scoring, or because, like, that 13-7 bowl game simulation, that was just stupid. That was just ridiculous. So I'm gonna try my best to get that figured out. But yeah, I mean, it's just like there are people there. It's few, but like I've seen some people before that are like trying to go out of their way to crap on that, and I'm like, dude, like you just hate fun at that point. You really do. You hate fun. I don't know. Anyways. 843-790-3377, guys. We'll just continue to have our dude. If they had a college baseball game, dude, even if, because people don't do this anymore. You know, you might recall over COVID, you know, we did the simulation before the season for South Carolina baseball. I would do that right now if I had the capability, right? I would do that right now. But, yeah, just, you know, unfortunately and I actually might, I might check in on that. I actually might check in on that. MLB The Show. What's the latest? 22? Okay. Anyways, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Dale from East Tennessee.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
to accept.
Dale, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hi. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's always a pleasure to hear your voice. What's up?
Hey, man, how's your New Year?
It was pretty damn good. Enjoyed it. How was yours?
Oh, man, we lit off a bunch of Roman candles out in the backyard. It was great. We had a good time.
Did you spend it
I
with
just
Rebecca
wanted
or
to call
no?
and check in with you.
Did you spend it with
yeah,
Rebecca?
she was there.
Okay.
Yeah, she was there. She checked in. You know, she's going back and forth. You know, we got a lot of friends that live on the same street, so. I just want to say I've been listening more conveniently, you know, since the new year, and I've kind of grew onto this show a little bit. I ain't listening every day, you know, but you've been on time or two, and I've just really enjoyed it. So I ain't no Gamecock fan or nothing, but, you know, up here in East Tennessee, it's kind of hard, but, you know, that's why me and Becca broke up the first time, because I wasn't a Gamecock fan, and she, I don't know, she got, you know, really upset and said I was mean to her, but it was really the other way around, which I wouldn't take the orange off. But, you know, I'm learning to, you know, love the color a little bit. It's growing on me.
Dale, I'm just trying. You just left Arby's. You big Arby's guy.
Yeah, I just picked up some lunch, you know, taking it back to the house. Becca told me she wanted me to bring her back some cheese sticks, so that's what I brought her.
Big.
Hey, speaking of Becca, she told me that you had a lady friend now.
I do. Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad to hear it. That's awesome. Do you need me to send you my Crash Bandicoot? It really sets the mood on the PlayStation.
Yeah, she and I would love to play PlayStation 2 together. That'd be great. If you don't mind.
Co-op, good time, my friend. It's a good time. But yeah, I was just riding back and had a few minutes after I left, you know, Arby's up here. I was just trying to head home, and I just wanted to holler at you and say, man, you're growing on me. I feel like I'm getting to know you a little bit, you know, and just thought maybe we could start, you know, something beautiful, some type of friendship or something. I don't know. I not like a type of friendship, you know, that me and Keith have, you know, sharing well, you get it, peanut butter, jelly, and all that. But, we ain't got to go that far, but, it has to start somewhere.
Indeed. Yeah, no, I love it. I love having you call in, Dale. It's incredible. I'm just like, I had a question for you. There's a rumor floating around. Your nickname is Big Dick Dale. What do you have to say to that?
Oh, shit, Chris, you can't say that too loud. I got the windows rolled down. But hold on. I'll roll this thing up here. Yeah, well, you know what they say. You got a nickname, how big's your foot and all that stuff. I got some big feet now. And I'll just leave it at that.
Right. Your girl will vouch for you. I hear you.
Yeah.
It feels good to be good, my friend. I hear you. Trust me. I can
good.
relate.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I just wanted to touch in, tell you, hey, what's going on. Well, I had a few minutes. I don't have, it's hard for me to, call in a lot. I don't have a lot of minutes. Me and Becca blow it up at night, late pillow talking and stuff on the phone. But, when I got time, I'm going to try to call in, man. Love what you're doing. Gonna get in here, eat some cheese sticks, and put you on the TV, my friend.
Dale,
Put it out the show.
You're the man. You're a legend, Dale. Don't let anybody tell you any differently.
Thank you, sir. You as well, my friend. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Dale.
BDD out.
Yeah, be good. Take care. Take care, Rebecca, for us. What a time. What a time. What a time. Guys, on that note, we'll take one final break. More of your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Final 8 minutes or so here in the Daily Crow, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. My good friend Brad Crawford, I don't know for what reason, but I think he was trying to ruin my day when he tweeted this. Will Muschamp has won 2 national championships on Georgia's staff since South Carolina paid him $12.9 million to leave. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. CH. I don't know if he's talking to me or somebody else, but he just says, eat a dick. So glad we're being kind to each other today here on this Tuesday. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. Appreciate Dale for calling in. You just never know. You just never know what's going to happen on the Daily Crow. That's the beauty of this show, man. It's the beauty of this show. Hey, guys, stay tuned, by the way, for new merch. Stay tuned for new merch. New Big Cock Club merch also, I think, on the way soon. I'm feeling a little bit inspired to make some new BCC merch. CH, a pleasant day to you as well, my friend. I appreciate you commenting and tuning in. Juck Burkett says, Muschamp is a scrub. It's worked out well for him. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how that works out. Guys, of course, the big news and what we're all awaiting is the decision from Spencer Rattler to come down. Will he return? Will he go to the NFL? We shall see. We shall see. Really excited, of course, to get on the road today and head down to Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Going to be a blast. We've got our event there at Carolina Cigars tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Be sure to come out. Also, guys, hey, if you want to come on out to Carolina Cigars during the lunch hour, noon to 2, I'll be doing the Daily Crow. You can come on out, have a seat, have a good time, have a smoke. It'll be a blast. So looking forward to tomorrow, looking forward to the next couple of days, spending it down there on the coast. We'll be playing golf Thursday, so no TDC on Thursday, but the podcast will drop as normal on Thursday. Hopefully, on Thursday, we are talking for the 2023 football season because we have gotten word that Rattler and, of course, Juice Wells, we already know, that they are back. So, yeah. Let's see. CK Sparks looking to get added to the spring tour. Yeah, so we are working right now with, you guys see, I finally updated the slide, by the way. Thank goodness. I finally updated the slide on our commercial video, whatever, if you will. We are working with Carolina Ale House right now to set the schedule for the 2023 TSUS tour. So the only stop we will not make is in Augusta. Was talking with those guys, and we're going to leave Augusta off of the tour schedule this time, but we'll be going to downtown Greenville, Woodruff Road, Myrtle Beach, Somerville, Fort Mill, and of course Columbia in Harbison. So I'm planning on that starting middle to late February, and that will run through end of March to early April. So looking forward to it. Yeah, looking forward to it. CK Sparks, SU. I've actually been contacted by Hickory Tavern. Going to have a conversation with those guys and see if maybe we can plan something, do something. I think that'd be cool. But, we've got Carolina Ale House. I feel like that'd be a little bit of a conflict of interest, if you will. But you never know. Yeah, these are all Carolina Ale House locations. So looking forward to it. Going to be a good time. We'll have merchandise for sale. I'm actually working with, I really want to do another collab with, that was you. Okay. CK Sparks. All right. That was you. Yeah, dude, I think we could still make something work. I think we can make something work. Reach out to me. I need to get back to your email then. I know we were having some conversations. It was kind of the holiday season. Things were crazy, but yeah, we've got that deal in place with Carolina Ale House. But maybe we can make something work. I mean, I'm always open to working together. Yeah, so doing it for the people. Yeah, Muschamp, yeah, as a coordinator, he's doing work for Georgia. So doing work for Georgia. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank y'all so much. In case you missed this, by the way, D1baseball.com, they ranked South Carolina's transfer class the 16th best in college baseball. The 16th best in college baseball. Yeah, very exciting stuff. And guys, hey, a week from today, again, is 1 month to opening day. And on Monday's podcast, we will start our position unit preview series, breaking down the Yardcocks as we count down the days until opening day. Cannot wait. I mean, you guys know I'm a huge baseball guy, and looking forward to the start of the season, and going to be a really, really good time. So really excited for it. And again, guys, I want to say thank y'all for the continued love and support. You guys that tune in the show each and every single day. Really appreciative and grateful for each and every single one of you. It's an absolute blast, man, doing this on a day in, day out basis. So, Kayshawn Brunson, yes, Cam Pringle has set his commitment date, January the 22nd. That'll be a big one if you're able to land Cam Pringle. And I think most think he's going to be a Gamecock, but that'll be big time for sure. That'll be big time for sure. Jacob E says it's good to see us use the same recruiting profile as Georgia. Having the trenches. I mean, you have to. You got to be a lead up front. I mean, that's what you saw last night. I mean, yes, Georgia had better players across the board, but it all starts up front. And, you heard Nick Saban talk about that in pregame, and Kirby Smart talks about aggression and toughness and, winning in the trenches. And I mean, all these coaches say that, right? All these coaches believe that. But, it's hard. It's hard to get those guys. It is. It is. So if you're not, I mean, I will say this, I will say this, that Coach Ford has a point in regards to, if you're trying to run 12 and 13 personnel and all that, and that's going to be your offense, you're never going to beat Georgia playing their own game. You're never going to do it. You got to be creative. You've got to think outside of the box. You've got to do some different things. And so it's a balance of, yes, you got to recruit the best possible players you can, right, in the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, but you've also got to be out of the box because you're just not going to beat Georgia, Alabama, those upper echelons, those elites. You're not going to beat them at their game. You're just not going to do it. So I think it is that balance, and that's what we're hoping, Dowell Loggins is able to bring to this Gamecocks offense is some creativity and something that will give South Carolina the edge. Guys, again, appreciate you all tuning in. We have hit 2:00. Thank y'all so much again for the continued love and support. It's truly a blessing. I'm truly grateful for each and every single one of you and the fact that we get to do this every single day and talk and conversate and talk Gamecocks. It's an absolute blast. Guys, stay tuned for everything. Of course, in case you missed anything on today's TDC, you can go on our podcast feed. And check out the Daily Crow. It will drop at 3:00. It drops at 3:00 every single day after the show. So again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank y'all so much. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we will talk to you all tomorrow.